Coach Tolin back for another week of the Doug Tolin Show, and just keeps on rolling along. More wins last week. The big nationally televised game against Rogers State, and then the trip to John Brown with exciting games last week.
Yeah, it was a good week. I just every week I think that goes good just sets up the next week and makes it even bigger, and we've continued to be able to be fortunate enough to get involved in that. We started last week against St. Greg's, who I thought came over here and played really hard and really well, and we're fortunate to come out on top of that. And then you say, as you say, the Rogers State game, that was a great atmosphere. I thought our students really came out. I thought we had a great crowd. I thought Rogers State came in here ready to play, but our guys were really ready to play, really got on it from the start. And I never thought about it in terms of the entire year, but that's as good as we've played probably, or we haven't played much better than that at times. And Saturday I was very impressed with John Brown, how well they played. They're a national tournament caliber team. I hope people around the nation will realize that when it gets down to it. And they played well, they shot it well, and we were really lucky. That game went down to the last possession, and we made a bucket, and then Nate made a big steal, and Nate made a couple free throws, and it just fell our way at the end. So good week, but as we were talking about, it sets up another big week this week.
Yeah, that John Brown game, the biggest lead either way was 6 points, and that was kind of early in the game. That's the kind of game the fans just really love, and then love to listen to it even on the radios.
Well, yeah, it was, I think, 10-4 we were up at the beginning of the game, and that was the biggest lead I saw on the stat sheet after the game, and it just went back and forth. I don't know how many lead changes there were. There were several. About the time you get feeling like, okay, we're headed the right way, you look up, and then all of a sudden we're behind. They've made 2 threes or something, and we've got a big possession to where we better get a basket or it could go the other way on us. So, again, I don't think that we didn't go over there and play well. We played pretty good. Just John Brown deserves a lot of credit, and they deserve a lot of respect. I won't be surprised if they're one of the top 3 or 4 teams in our league when this thing's done in a couple weeks.
Now, it's hard to imagine we're this late in the season and we haven't seen somebody yet, but Northwestern coming up Thursday and then the return trip on Monday. Talk about them a little bit.
That is an odd deal. We told our guys yesterday, at this time of year, scouting reports, they're looking at the scouting report going, yeah, I know that guy. I've played against him 4 times, or whatever, over the years, and we've not seen these guys. This is like a November game, somebody that they've not ever seen. So hopefully we concentrated and we know what we think they're going to do and know their personnel, and we'll be ready to go. And then it almost felt where we're going to play them back-to-back, and it turns out now we play Oklahoma Christian in between. But to play them on a Monday after you play them on a Thursday, that's an oddity too. But that's what the weather did to us that one week where we lost both games in terms of not getting to play.
And Oklahoma Christian on Saturday in the Eagles' Nest. And Coach, this time of year, you're not only just taking the best shot because you're ranked high, you're taking the best shot because their seasons depend on it.
Well, I think you're exactly right. Teams that are, Southern Nazarene or us or whoever it is, Mountain State, when you play those other teams, they are ready to go. That's their chance to make a mark for their team. And then last week, both Rogers State and John Brown were desperate teams, I felt like, in terms of, we've got to win to be able to stay in this thing and have a chance to qualify for an at-large. And I think Oklahoma Christian's right there. They're in that pack, that battle with Rogers State and John Brown. For the 4th, 5th, well, maybe even OCU, the 3rd spot. It's going to be a real battle. We talk about a battle at the top, but there's a real battle in the middle to try to qualify for an at-large.
Now we come to the player profile segment. We're going to put 2 guys in there together that came in to OBU the same time, redshirted the same year, Emmanuel Wilson and Heath McKay. Talk about those 2 guys.
Yeah, those guys' paths are not dissimilar. They're almost exactly the same. They both are Oklahoma kids who had a tie to OBU and that we knew as high school kids. And then they've come here and progressed steadily, just like you hope they would. And both have become very good players. Heath made 2 huge shots at John Brown the other night. Tim was in some foul trouble, and Heath went in there, and they helped off of him and went to Nate, and all of a sudden the ball's in his hands, and he's making a wide open 3 for us, and he did that twice. And he's become a good, solid point guard for us, I think. And I think his best days are still ahead of him. They've been here 3 years. I understand that, but they're just sophomores, and they're going to both have good junior and senior years. E-Man's had a strange year this year in terms of he really began to get it going and really playing well and an important part of the starting team, actually. and then he gets hurt in that Hillsdale game, the first one back after Christmas, and literally could not do anything for almost 4 weeks, and missed a bunch of games in there. And I think he's still working his way back. He made some big shots, I thought, against St. Gregory's Tuesday, and his playing time continues to go up. He played well at John Brown for us, and he's probably close back to where he was, but those guys have both made a lot of progress in 3 years. I think that just shows what kids can do if they'll steadily work at it over a period of time.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.